So I just gotta open up. Oh, sweet. Didn't see it there. Oh, I need another sweatshirt. So I left my Red Bull out yesterday, and it's just frozen solid. It's a whole Red Bull, and it just froze all the way up. Crazy. Oh, shit. I know the devil mad. What's up, guys? So, we gotta get our legend going. Here it is. This is the fun for today. Every one of those, there's 8 boards there. They all have different lengths and thicknesses, and I'll have to deduct the thicknesses from each of these horizontal boards from these links here to get the right length itself. So the best way to do this is to just number them, literally. I have no pencils. Let's go get a pencil. I got 100. All right. I got so many pencils in my truck, like a lot. Okay. We basically have to number each one of these. Let's get you guys hooked up here. Here we go. Get this squared up. Why is that so loose? Still have mahogany in here. I don't want that flying at my face. So basically, man, this thing's gonna blow away. So, this is kind of funny, but I'm just gonna super glue it. I don't want to have to rewrite all of it, so I'm just gonna super glue it literally to a piece of paper. Now it won't blow away. When you're out here in this weather, this is so good to carry in your belt. Super glue, I love Loctite 30-second grab for this. And then this stuff, not only is it good for your lips, but it's good for like your hands, man. Like there's a lot of, see how dry my skin is? You could just put a little bit of that on your hands, because you're trying to grab the board and your hand isn't moist enough. So the board, it's like literally walking on ice. It's so slippery. So you either got to lick your fingers or you got to put something like this on there. But I don't like creams. I don't like creams because our skin is naturally has oil. So why put a cream in there when naturally it wants oil? Your skin doesn't produce cream naturally, you know? That's for the sack. I shouldn't have said that. But I did say that this is not for children. But like, it starts to come out of it a little bit. Man, don't I have some big hands? Like, I know dudes have bigger hands than me, but I'm saying, like, look how fat that muscle is. That's just one muscle. Boom. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anyway. Also, and another thing is, I know this is kind of stupid, but watch. Put it up in there. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just, because what happens is that the end of your nostril will get bit kind of by the, little bit because of the salt out of your snot, but also like just the wind blowing through. And it's really good to just get a little bit up in there. Just a little tiny bit, right on the edge of your nose. And you just want to make sure that, because your nose will get chapped. I don't know if you can see that, but. So I just, like I said, I'm not picking my nose. There is no boogers there. Even right in here is another area that will get chapped. So it's good to just make sure, you know, you're going to go home and take a shower. But while you're in the cold, it's best to condition yourself so that you don't have longer lasting effects on your body. So I'm just going to oil even your fingers. See how dry my fingers are on the edge, the cuticles? That's because of the cold. That dry, bitter. When that wind gets dry and super cold, and that shit cuts through you. Like you got to go home and eat a big bowl of broth, soup, just to warm up inside. Like my belly will stay freezing cold for like 6 hours after I'm done working. I got to take a hot shower and get into a big thick blanket to warm back up, you know. All right, we're good. Now that I've talked my way out of having no watchers, whatever that's called. Now I can't barely even see the work I'm doing. I super glued that page on because it ripped off. Anyway, let's get it. So let's just number them. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they're all different thicknesses. Like the top here is 1 1/8 on the left, but the right side is 3/4. The top of number 2 is 1 inch. The bottom is 3/4. The lower right side is 7/8. The lower left side is 3/4. This is the width of the board. Down here it's 5/8, a shy 5/8, but at the top it's 1 1/8. So it's going from 5/8 down here, a shy 5/8 to be exact. Oh, 5/8. It's short 5/8 up top, 3/4 on the bottom. Same as over here. 1.5 down here, 7/8 up top. Inch up top, 9/16 down low. And this is the only way we're gonna make these skylights look somewhat normal. So we're gonna give the reveal to the actual frame, the inner frame of that skylight. The rest will just kind of fall by its wayside. So what you're gonna look at is that white reveal where it touches the wood. Although it's gonna be huge somewhere, some here, some there, you're already looking at it. You might as well, you know, and you can see black gaps around the window where you can literally almost see outside or see to the flashing and the protectance that's not letting water in. So it's completely protected, water, etc. Never been a leak, but you can literally see past the actual frame. If you go back to my lives from yesterday, you'll be able to see it. So we're gonna close that off for her. And then we have a leaking gutter over here. Right there on the end of that gutter, it's leaking bad. So we'll fix that later as well. So right now my hands are frozen. All right, here we go. I just got to make sure that whatever length I cut is thick enough for that specific piece because they're numbered now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are going to be specific board, and every one of their widths and thicknesses are different. Plus, I got to reduce certain thicknesses and widths because of the thicknesses of the other sizes. So, because these links are the actual rough opening, not what the trim needs to be for these, because you'll see. Stay with me, guys. Don't go away. This is going to be beautiful. Trust me. And I selected aged wood. I made sure to select aged wood so that it will match the aged jambs inside. These were done years and years ago. They just weren't finished correctly. So now I'm coming back and refinishing them. I've already got the window casements on, but now we got to do the inner jambs. Let's do it. To be honest, this piece of wood matches the color of the jambs in there perfectly. And I think it's big enough to get everything I need, if not most of everything I need out of it. So my longest cut is 45 and 7/16, 45 and 3/4. So let's go ahead and cut 45 and 3/4. Okay. Just out of curiosity, bro, I literally just screwed myself. I should have ripped them into lengths. Idiot. All right, I'm gonna stop worrying about talking to you guys, and I just got to do my job and shut the fuck up so you guys can have fun and watch me build. I just ruined that whole fucking project. I could have got a series of full lengths and then cut them as needed. But either way, they still wouldn't have been. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. Let's go. Let's go. I still am only gonna get a certain amount anyway. It's all good. Okay. What do I have here? I have 1 1/8 to 3. So what I need to do, I need to rip a bunch of square. They have to be square at first, and I don't want to just keep ripping weird patterns off of this board because it won't. Nothing will have a real reference point of two edges square. Because the two edges have to be square, and then the teeter totter has to come, you know, like that. But the other side has to be square up against the window. So let's just rip a bunch out. We got 1 1/8 1 1/8 is the biggest. We got 1.5 inches. Look at that. We got one. It's just straight up 1 inches. Let's just cut that. And we're gonna call that number 5. That's number 5. Okay. Do we have any more that are exact the same? No. Holy crap. So I have 7 that I'll have to custom cut different thicknesses on each side. Great. Inch and 1/8. Go ahead and rip that. This is number 1. And number 1 has to be 1 1/8 to 3/4. Inch and 1/8 to 3/4. So that's going to be face. It's going to be just like that. So, oh, that's up top. So it'll be coming, it'll look like that. 1 1/8 to 3/4. So there's our 3/4. Then we go to 0 because we don't want to cut anything at all off of what I just cut for width on the other end. So if you guys can see that, this is what I'm gonna have to do, right? So 3/4 down here to 0 because it's already 1 1/8. That's what I need, okay? So let's just go ahead. We'll rip that out of the way. We'll get it done. We already have our line. I made a nice pencil line. Now I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. Now, you can see I didn't even touch the last 6 inches. There's no need to, because I needed it 1 1/8, and I just cut the width at 1 1/8. So why keep cutting it, right? It's 2 0, which means 0 means you don't cut it, right? All right, here we go. That's number 1. So I've got 1 and I have 5. Let's keep going. All right, let's just go to number 2. Now remember, every time I cut off of this, this has 4 90-degree angles on this board, okay? That's why I'm not just taking this board and going, okay, 3/4 down, inch over there, 3/4 here, because then that board was gonna get wobbly and I won't have reference points. So right now, I'm gonna cut 1 inch because that's the thickest part of the board I need. I almost just screwed up because I gotta also remember, well, for one, we gotta go cut all these links different later as well. But for one, I can't cut any of my verticals yet until I take the duct, because I only have the rough opening of the actual window in there. The thickness of this board and the bottom and the top board is gonna take away from the length of the vertical, because we're putting them in like this. We're stacking them like a butt style lay. All right, so 3/4 plus 7/8. That is 1 1/8. No, sorry. Pause. 7/8 plus 3/4 is 1 5/8. 1 5/8 minus 1 5/8 deducted from 45 3/4 would be 1 5/8 would be 44 1/8. This is number 2. So, oh well, I don't have to do all that weird stuff until, well, I don't have to do the length worries until we're done with the thicknesses, because I've already cut them all at the longest board. This is the length of the longest board on this whole legend right here. So I can deduce them and I won't have any that are short. But we just said this is 44 1/8. We already did the math. We're just gonna go ahead and make a cut on it. Okay, so this plus the thickness of my blade is the width of the top and the bottom boards that vertical is gonna go sneaking between. Cool, and you know what I'm gonna do now? I'm just gonna make a little asterisk here, a little star, and that tells me that board, wait, I gotta rip it still. And it's a 1, so I gotta make a 1 on one end, 3/4 on the other. So I still have to rip it down to 3/4. I'm just trying to show you everything before I get really into this whole project. That way you guys can really see what the heck I'm doing. It's not as easy as one would expect. Now there's reasons I'm doing this. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and rip. Move that fence out of the way. Oh, I unplugged my power source. Cool, here we go. Okay. Now, there is also one other thing, guys. I'm ripping them to their basic bare bone thicknesses, but I'm not going right in too thick. Like, I'm never taking my thickness of my blade and going on the inside of the line. I'm just barely skirting on the edge of the thickness that I want. I'm not gonna let that blade come in and take a little thicknesses off, because if these guys, you know, wanna be whatever, I can sand them to whatever. So I'm gonna be using the sander to finish these down when needed. Obviously, we're gonna use a sander and take off these saw cuts. Like, I don't know if you can see that saw cut right there, but there's definite saw cuts there. And you can minimize those by keeping your blade, keeping your material moving through the blade. If you stop it, you'll get that weird half a circle, whatever the heck. Look, 1 second. Anyway, what's our next one? We got 1, we have 2, let's do 3. 3. All right, here we go. So we need 7/8 on one end, 3/4 on the other. So we're just gonna rip this at 7/8 and then we'll deduce it. I know this seems like it's the harder way, but we do not want this to come off reference of 90, 90, 90, 90 on all corners. So let's just go to 78. Okay, board selection. You see how that's got that chip in it? Well, we got to cut some off, so let's just cut it off that end. Every time I cut a board or even go to mark a board, I'm looking for stuff like this that I can cut off, unless the client or I specifically want some knots in it, which isn't uncommon. So we have it at 7/8. Now we're gonna bring it down to 3/4 down here. We're gonna leave this end. We're gonna make a line real quick. So I'm gonna bring it right finger flush on the right side, bring it to my mark at 3/4 here, make a pencil line. There it is. What is this? We gotta number it. It's number 3. There we go. Let's move our fence. Make a cut. Look. So we are gonna get rid of it. number 4. All right, this is the only one that's actually kind of making me not really, because usually if it's going to be the same, I'll just write one number. But I remember specifically right here, there was something going on in my head when I did it. So let's just run in real quick and make sure that is, so it's either going to be 1 1/8 or it's going to be 3/4, or it's going to stay 5/8. So here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's a shy 5/8, just like I said. That's 7/8 up top. So I must have either forgot that. Maybe I told myself, hey, I'll go back to it. I don't know. But it's 7/8 up top and a shy 5 on the bottom. Good morning, Dorothy. Forgot to say good morning to my client. She's such a wonderful angel. Oh, see this here? We're gonna pop that off, clean the gutter out real well. I have to lift that side of the gutter to get better flow, because this is going to destroy the seam. Good thing the deck is young enough at all. It'll dry out, and I mean, yes, it'll have a little bit of, wear and tear from the moisture that's consumed over the last however long, but it's a fairly new system. So, how you doing, Lords? Thank you for commenting. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm freezing out here, but let's get it. So it's 7/8 up top, 5/8 on the bottom. So we need 7/8. This is number 4. 7/8 right there. Let's go. That will be cut off the length. Let's go ahead. Go ahead, we'll go 7/8. Okay. We'll go 5/8 down here. 5/8. Okay. Let's go ahead, go 5/8 there. 0 right here. Because we don't want to, we just cut it to our exact thickness on the left side, on my left side. And that 5/8 over here. Bang. Let's make sure we label it number 4. Let's get our cut. Move the fence. Okay, now we're on the second skylight, and we're looking at, so we already got number 5, which is the top. Let's go ahead and do number 6, which is 1 inch and 9/16. So we'll go 1 full inch. Now I'm being careful to mark my actual thickness, my width, where the line is going to be, because we're going to end up cutting quite a bit off of these. So if I put 9/16 up here, it's way different than 9/16 here by the time you make a line going, horizontally. Excuse me, please. Okay, so 9/16 there. That is that's a drastic. Man. Yep, got 1 inch there. You know what? That's splitting there. Let's go ahead, we'll leave this. This is a better side. And we'll go to 9/16 here. Okay, I like that better. We'll remove that split, cut the split out instead. And we'll leave the healthy wood. Okay, where's my 9/16? Pretty deep in there. That's almost half the thickness of this board being shaved off. And that's why I said it's just gonna kind of fall by the wayside, but the reveal to the skylight will be correct. Label it. So I'm labeling it on the butt end because I know I'm going to sand these saw marks off, but I'm labeling it on the bottom as well. So that's, wait, I just said number 5. That's actually number 6. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you. All right. What else do we got? Number 7 is a fat 5/8 and then 9/16. So we could sand that difference down once we get it actual. So let's just go, well, that's kind of cheating. Let's just do it the right way. Yeah, it's a fat 5/8 right there. Okay. Then we're going to do 9/16. 9/16. This is a horizontal, so the mark needs to be on the end of the board because I'll need it is 1 inch shorter. So we'll put the mark where the actual thickness needs to be. Now we're going to save the right side because we need that fat 5/8. And then we're going to bring it over to 9/16 on the left. Come on now, work with me. Okay. That's number 7. Okay. Now we need number 8, and we're done with the thicknesses. So we have 7/8 on top, 1.5 on the bottom. That's the biggest, most drastic drop we got. So 1.5 inches. We got 7/8. Okay, let's make this cut. Look at that. We were able to make all 8 of them out of that one board, so I didn't mess up anything. I always over worry, you know, but that's my job. I gotta worry. I'm supposed to care. You know, a lot of people don't care anymore. You know, maybe it's because they're not getting paid what they want. Maybe it's because they weren't taught and brought up correctly. I don't know. But we all really need to start caring more about our outcome, our product at the end, you know. And if you agree with me there, I think that really deserves a like and a subscribe. But let's just keep cutting. Okay, this is number 8, the infinity number. 8 means infinity, remember that. Because it just keeps going and going and going, right? All right, here we go. Let's go cut the lengths. We have them numbered. We have them cornered. They are never going to get away from us now. All right. You know what I'd love? I'd love a little sip of Red Bull. Okay, what do we got here? This is number 8. Now, we know that we have our actuals at our thickest part of our board. So we can't cut from the thickest part. We have to cut the length off of the thinnest part of each board. Because if we were to cut the length off the thicker part, that would screw us. So here we go. Now, this is number 8, so it is a vertical, which means we have to deduct the top and the bottom thickness from the length that is on the paper. And that'll be 45 7/16 minus 1 inch and 5, a fat 5/8. So to be 43 and 13/16. 43 and 13/16. 43 and 13/16. We don't need to put a square mark on it, but we also need to remember to put the board, the square part of this board up against the fence. And we do not want that angled edge against the fence because it'll cut a non-square line. My saw is starting to sound like it needs some grease, but I've been using it out in this cold too. When it warms up, it sounds a little better, but I did use it yesterday and it wasn't making as bad of a noise. Okay. What number is this? 7. That's weird. I just did 8. Now we got 7. Here we go. That's the thinner part. This is the thicker part. So we need to cut 7 is the actual number that's there, which is 44 and 3/16. Bada bing, bada boom. Hi. So, this is Tinkerbell. She came to see us. All right, that's the thicker part. What's up? Nice. Yeah, put it out there. All right, that's so weird. I just got 6. This is number 6. I did 8, 7, 6. I'm just grabbing free for all. Either way, let's just do it. 6, 45, and 7/16 minus 9/16. So it'd be 40 plus an inch. So it'd be 43 3/4. 43 3/4. 43 3/4. Square part is against my fence.
Just like the other one.
Yeah.
Not broken.
Right.
Well, she's like, you want this? I'm like, I guess. I don't know.
This knot just fell out. I don't know if I want that in this specific job. So I'm gonna put this knot back.
I don't know if this will fit in here.
Yeah.
I don't think this will fit in here.
Bring it home. Kids can use it for a art table or a lemonade stand table or something. So there, because we don't want little holes. That's the whole point of these boards, is covering up any gaps and cracks. Yeah, what's this? This is number 1. Oh wow, that's killer.
I got that for you.
Look, guys, it's Squanto, the chief Indian.
Very dirty and dusty.
Well, we can get it cleaned up. It's got a cool frame on it. That's a local frame. Someone built that around here. All right, what do we got? This is number 1. It's actual 44. 44 exact. .44 exact. Okay. What do we got here? What number is it? Oh, cool. Bounding. All right, this is the thicker end. That's the thinner end. This is the cut side. This is the square side. I'm gonna put that square side up against the fence. This is the fence right here. Number 2. Number 2, 45 3/4. And you gotta deduct 3/4 and 7/8 off the length. So, excuse me, 3/4 and 7/8 is 1 1 1/8. So 45 3/4 minus 1 1/8 is 44 5/8. Then we're pulling it off the thicker side.
And, here this was that color.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but look how weird these look. These Andrews were like white and chunky. see, and these are gray.
Yeah.
Maybe
She just went and got her grandfather's ashes. So that's her grandfather's ashes right there. This, I did the math wrong. Yeah, it's the one with the asterisk. I didn't cut that right. Hi, Bella. My baby girl's in the car. She's a year old and like 3 months. Well, it's a good. I love you too, honey. I'll see you in a little bit. It's a good thing we got more board, because this is cut wrong. I cut it a half inch. I cut it a half inch too short. But the project's gone so well so far, I'm not even worried about it. Plus, I still have more material. This is the last one. That's number 5. All right, where's the... Oh, number 5 was... Yeah, number 5 is the same exact all the way. And we got to cut it at 44. Love you, Bella. Okay, so it's going to be cut at 44 inches. There we go. Okay. So these are all of the custom cut thickness, widths, and length jambs, except for that one. So let's go and fix that specific cut. So what did I do wrong? I cut it a half inch too short. But what's the number here? Number 2. Number 2. So number 2 is 1 3/4 inches. So 1 inch on one side, 3 inches. So we're going to cut it at 1 inch. Matter of fact, we're done. You know what? I don't like that crap. And then we're gonna use, all right, I'll sand. Huh, that's weird. It's weird when wood does that. There, it gone. So let's just do, you know what, the hell with it, we're cutting. Okay. We need 1 inch on one end, and then we need 3/4 down around about here, because we're going to be cutting thickness, the width off to make the length. What's the length? 1 3/4 inches. So 45 3/4 minus 1 3/4 is 44. All right. So we're going to cut this knot off. We got 1 inch there, and then we have 3/4 here. Here we go. And close this, my little handy dandy notebook. All right. These are all of our numbered products. We got to label this 2. And we got to cut it at 44. All right. So these are all numbered. We got 5, 1, so 1, there's 8, 2, 3. We got 7 here, 6. Where's number 4? We didn't cut number 4. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it went from 7/8 to 5, fat 5/8. 7/8 to a fat 5/8. Where did that go? Is it this? Yeah, it is this. We never labeled it. Okay. This is 4. Oh, well, it was labeled. Anyway, we got it now. This is the thicker spot. This is the cut end. This is the square reference end. You got a 90 up top here, 90 here. We have to pull off the thicker end because that is the exact. Then we got to come down here. What is it? A fat 5/8 plus 7/8 is basically 1.5 inches. So we're going to deduct 1.5 inches off of 44 3/4, which would be 45 3/4. Sorry, 45 3/4 minus 1.5 inches is 44 1/4. 44 1/4. Okay. So there's 5, 6. We got number 4. All right. Well, we have all of our stuff. Oop. All right, let's get inside here. You ready to install this, guys? Drop a like and a subscribe and hit it. We got so much more to do after we're done with this job. We'll be fixing the gutter because that's leaking. So, give me a sec. I need to put these somewhere. Oh. Okay. Here we go. Wow, thank you for all the likes, everybody. Thank you. So we have our product there. I need to go out and grab the charger real quick.